Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Y'all, excuse my appearance, but I am on my way to work out. Yeah, it's been a minute since I did a video for y'all. I think it's been about 4 weeks. And I was like, you know what? Let me hop on here and show my face again and let y'all know I'm still here. Y'all, I have just been super busy. And hopefully y'all can hear me because I'm about to turn the air on because it's only almost 10 o'clock in the morning and it's already 80 degrees, okay? But I'm on my way to work out, y'all. Listen, your girl got to get herself together, okay? I have got to get back in shape because, yeah, I want to look better. I want to feel better and all the things. So I'm on my way to do that. I decided to go to, it's not a trail. It's more so, I guess more so like a track, but it's gravel and it's actually a little bit bigger than a track. But anyway, so I'm about to go walk around there. I'm gonna try to do it 2 times around. We'll see because like I said, it's actually pretty big and yeah, it's getting hot outside. So we'll see if I can do it 2 times around. Hopefully I can, because then that would be awesome. And yeah, I'm just shaking up my protein shake here so that I can drink all of that before I have to get out and start walking. Y'all, okay, I'm gonna tell you what it is. So it is vanilla slim fast powder. I did 2 scoops instead of 1 scoop for extra protein. And then I do 1 scoop of collagen. The collagen I got from Black Girl Vitamins. And then I do 2 cups of vanilla unsweetened almond milk. And I do 2 cups because so the Slim Fast, you're only supposed to do 1 scoop. But I do 2 scoops so that I have extra protein. And then you do 1 scoop of the collagen. And then I do 2 cups of the almond milk because I did 2 scoops of the Slim Fast. Okay, so you don't have to do 2 scoops if you don't want to, but like I said, I do it for extra protein, and then I just put it in my blender shaker here and shake it up. I will say the collagen though, you want to make sure, and I forgot to do it this morning, but I put the Slim Fast in and then the collagen, and then I shake that first. So when I add the almond milk and shake it up, it's nice and smooth. But I forgot to do that this morning, so now I have like small little chunks of the collagen and the Slim Fast in here. Because for some reason, like when you don't mix the dry ingredients together first, then you get like the little small chunks and stuff. Like it doesn't break it down completely. So yeah, I completely forgot to shake and blend the dry ingredients first, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna rock with it. So I hope everybody's doing good. Hello to my new subscribers. Thank y'all for subscribing and joining the Jesus and Coffee Conversations family. Y'all, I know I say this every time I feel like that I'm going to be more consistent, but I'm really working on trying to be more consistent. And yeah, so for me, like y'all know, I'm an author. So my 4th book just came out. That's another thing that I've been working on. So it's a study guide that goes with the 3rd book. Okay, so I have my first 2 books, which are like motivational tips, devotional type things. Then my 3rd book is an affirmations book. And I did a study guide to go with it because my best friend was like, you know what, you should make a study guide so people can really get into the affirmations and stuff. And so I asked a couple more people, like, would they be interested in the study guide? And they all said yes. So I made the study guide. That came out, I want to say the beginning of June. But I didn't get the author copies until like last week. So I have been working on promoting that. Y'all know I also have my Let's Talk podcast. So I've been, working on that and getting episodes and stuff up over there on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I have to do better with trying to get the podcast on the YouTube channel as well, so that I'm not doing YouTube and a podcast. It can just all be like one thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I have to learn how to edit. I also want to get like a better, well, I guess I could use when I do my sit down videos, I guess I could do it there, but I just have to figure out what equipment I need to make it so that it's on YouTube and also on Spotify and Apple. So yeah, right now it's just like two separate things. Like I record for the podcast and I'm able to upload them on Apple and Spotify, but I can't put it on YouTube. And then I record on YouTube, but I can't get YouTube on Apple and Spotify. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, okay? But anyway, y'all, so a lot has been going on in the world. I know you guys have seen the craziness with it's a whole lot of stuff. So you have, the Carmelo Anthony verdict. You have the one with the Asian guy who shot the black guy. You have what else have I been hearing? It was some other, like I said, there was something, whatever. Then you have it's so much stuff going on, I can't even keep up with it all. Like, and it's sad. Like, the times we are living in is definitely giving you better get yourself together, because yeah, Jesus is on the way anytime now. I hate to get over because the cops are like right there, and they say you're supposed to get over when people are on the side in case, but people, y'all know me, people be driving slow and they're on the way, so I'm gonna get back over here. Anyway, but yeah, so it's just a lot going on, and I am trying to not really get into a lot of I kind of chilled on talking about politics and things, but I just wanted to say that I'm noticing now that it's starting to become very pro-black, I guess, like where it's starting to be more about a person's skin color than the content of the person's character, right? Like Martin Luther King said, he had a dream that people would judge people by their character and not their skin color. And it's really just giving reverse racism in a way, because you have like black people just attacking white people just because, like, no reason, just because they're white. And a lot of times they want to say, oh, well, they did it to us, and they lynched us, and they did all this stuff to us, and now we get to do it to them. And two wrongs don't make a right. Like, I understand, like, with slavery and, all the things, but we were never slaves. Okay? Now, and all of our ancestors weren't slaves. Just because somebody is black does not mean that their family was slaves. There were a lot of free black people. There were a lot of black people that were indentured servants. But it's really, like, the devil is really starting to use skin color. And for me, as a believer, I am a believer first. And there's a lot of people that are like, well, no, I'm black first, or no, I'm a woman first. No, when you get saved and you give your life to God, you are now in God's kingdom, and you are his child before you are anything else. Your skin color is not going to get you into heaven. You could be black, like tar black. That does not mean you are going to get into heaven. God does not give a flying kite about your skin color. And just because white people had slaves, and not all white people had slaves, and not all white people wanted slavery, and so it's this whole monolith, like all black people got to think the same, all black people act the same, all black people like watermelon, all black people like chicken, all black people. That's not true. That is not true. Just like all white people are not racist, all white people didn't have slaves, all white people are not for, the shenanigans. So it's just, as a Christian, you really have to step back and not allow your flesh to dictate how you live your life and how you conduct yourself. Because as a Christian, as a believer, we are not called to our flesh. We are called to live by our spirit. We are called to live how God tells us to live. And this is a very slippery slope, because a lot of times we do allow, when we see injustices happen, we do want to immediately get in our flesh, and we do want to do the protest, and we do want to, start saying eye for an eye, things like that. But that's not what we are called to do as a Christian. We cannot allow our flesh to start dictating how we live and how we respond to things. And I know a lot of times it's easier said than done. Just like if somebody cuss you out, you immediately want to get in your flesh and say, hey, listen, I can cuss you out too. Just because I'm saying it don't mean nothing now. But we have to crucify our flesh and not get in our flesh and allow the devil to use his minions to get us out of character. And so we really, when we see situations and things happening, it's important that we respond the way that God wants us to respond. And a lot of times we don't want to do that. We want, to scream and yell and fight and do, the things because that makes us feel good at the moment. But that's not a proper response, and that's not going to lead anybody closer to God. And so, seeing how, black people now are also saying, oh, well, Christianity is a white man's religion, and they force that on us, and, this, that, and the third. And that's not true either. If you really research and you really get in that word, you will see that Bible is all about black people. It is all about black people. And God told us God told us this was going to happen when he was like, you're going to go in ships to a land that you do not know, and you're going to be in bondage to them for 400 years. And, because we were trying to serve other gods. And it's the same thing happening now. You got people out here still trying to serve and worship their ancestors who are dead and gone and don't know nothing you doing and saying, and don't know nothing what's going on this earth. Because the Bible is clear, once you dead, you don't have any communication with people on the earth, and as a person on the earth, you're not supposed to be communicating with the dead. So all this ancestral worship, all this, let's go back to Africa, all this, let's, this, that, and the third, like, no. And it was a pastor that I was listening to. I'm going to put it in the description box because I cannot remember his name. But he is a pastor over at Lionheart Church, I think it is, in Georgia. And it was a video. He was on a podcast. And he was kind of talking about, sort of like similar things. But anyway, you got to go watch it for yourself. It's about 2 hours long. Listen, it is well worth watching and listening to, because he pretty much is saying, why the church is the way that the church is today, and why people are the way that they are today. And I'm just gonna say, we are definitely in the end times. We're in the last days, and this is why a lot of things are happening. They want race wars. They want, all of this violence and stuff to happen, because that's the only way the Antichrist can come back. When sin and wickedness is filling the earth. When you have people out here just killing people for no reason, because somebody, said, hey, can you turn your music? You're in a public space. Do you mind turning the volume on your phone down? And I know somebody about, well, it's my phone. How are you going to dictate what I do on my phone? The fact is, you are in a public place. Why are you all on my cell? Why you got over here? You could say the left lane, but anyway, you're in a public place, and if somebody is politely asking you, can you please turn your volume down? And then your response is to kill them. And this happened. It was on a bus, an older black man as a younger black man. She's heard his volume on his phone down. And the boy decided, you know what? I don't like the fact that you're asking me that, so I'm just going to take your life. And that's exactly what happened. When you have people just attacking random people, it was a older black lady, I think she was in her 60s, and this black man just attacked her for no reason out of nowhere. Like, she just walking minding her business. Like, let me think, where am I going to park? Because I hadn't been over here in so long. there. Can I get back over? Ooh, y'all, these vertical checks. Goodness, I need to fix that. No, okay, so I can still park down there. Y'all, excuse me, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna park. Okay, it's blocked off, but I can pull up there in that space. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, so you just have this stuff, just people killing you for no reason. No reason. You can blink, and they just didn't like the way you blink, and they're like, you know what? I didn't like the way he blinked or she blinked, so I'm just gonna go kill him. That is the times that we're living in. You have demons manifesting. It was a video I saw where, now I don't know if it was AI or not, because you know we're in the days of AI, so you really just don't know. But in the video, it looked like somebody had gotten in a car crash. They hit the telephone pole or light pole, and dang, I could have pulled in that parking lot right there. Okay, I know. Let me go down to the light. And it was a dark shadow, like in the corner. So let's say this is the wall, so it was like right here, and it was like a dark shadow. And another car came and it was like the two people that went in the car to hit the light pole got out in the nick of time, because another car came and plowed straight, like head on into them. Like if they were still in the car, they would have died. So it was a black figure that was right there. And when that second car came, the black figure kind of like moved like real quick. And it was actually two of them, because it was another one that was like beside the car that he hit the phone pole. So anyway, people were, you know, in the comments and saying, did y'all notice a black figure? Because when I first saw the video, I didn't see it. So I was like, well, let me go back and see. And sure enough, it was two black figures. It was the one against the wall, and then it was the one against the let me go over here. Then it was the one that was against the car. And so, what is that noise? I don't know if y'all can hear that, but what in the world? What am I doing? Y'all, I'm trying to talk to y'all and park at the same time. I guess I could. Anyway, so, first is, anyway, in the video, it is hard to see on my camera because I got the phone up here in the way. And I gotta make sure I'm in the line, so I have to straighten. Do I have to straighten up? No, okay. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all give me 1 minute. Bear with me. Actually, let me go somewhere where... No, I can't do... Yes, I can. Well, I don't know. I like to park, like, beside other cars sometimes, because even though I have the camera, it's hard to tell if I have enough space to, like, keep going back. Whereas if it was a car beside me, I could just look in that car and see. Okay, I think that's good. I don't want to keep going just in case. But anyway, so in the comments, people were basically saying, like, you know, it was, I guess, like the Grim Reaper, but we know we don't have the Grim Reaper. It's pretty much like the spirit of death, but it was two demons basically. And I saw the same thing when Brazil, I think it was in Brazil, when they had Carnival maybe two or 3 years ago. And they were like mocking Jesus. They had like a, I think they had a gay Jesus, and they had some other kind of big Jesus or something. But basically they were mocking. And it was like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour or so in, like it really started raining and it flooded the carnival. And it was, somebody had a can. You pull in here all crazy. If you hit me and you got a BMW, you best believe you're gonna be owing me some money and get me on the car. Anyway, what in the world? And then this is another thing that I noticed too. Like whenever I go somewhere and it's like just me, it's like all of a sudden everybody starts coming out. Like I was in this parking lot, nobody beside me. Now all of a sudden I got the man in the BMW pulling in this parking space all crazy, like he about to hit my car. And then another dude pulled up on the other side. Like what in the world? Like all these parking spaces out here and y'all decide to park right here. Like why? Just like when sometimes, like when it's nice outside and I sit in my car at work, because I'm a teacher, so the kids like might be at lunch or they might be somewhere else, and I'm just gonna sit in my car because it's nice outside. I do it mainly in the fall and the spring where it's like nice weather and I can actually sit in the car with the windows down and have a cool breeze and stuff. But I'll be in the parking lot somewhere by myself, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I park, here come 50 people. Like, I don't know what I don't know. And then I was listening to, and they were just like, when that happens, it's kind of like monitoring spirits, basically. So, like, it's like they trying to keep. Anyway, I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole. Let me get back to the story in Brazil. So, basically, the video, it was like the flood, and you could see this dark shadow, like, just doing like this, right? Oh, it wasn't a dude. It was a girl. You better be glad you weren't hear me. Like I said. Anyway, dark shadow, and it was just going like this, like over the water and stuff. And it was like a demon. It was a spirit. And so you just have a lot more manifestation of spirits happening. Just like it was a video I saw, I think it was in London, and this man was like in the middle of the street, and he was just like screaming for no reason. Nobody was around him or anything. He was just like screaming and like seeming like he was demon possessed. Some people want to say, oh, he was probably on drugs. He very well could have been on drugs, but a lot of times, even when people are on drugs help you see into the spirit realm. And demon possession is real. And it's happening a lot more. And you can see it in people's eyes. It's like they just have like this a blank stare. If you go back and you look at all the serial killers, Ted Bundy and something Dahmer, I can't remember, Jeff Dahmer, I think it was, and Charles Manson, and just go look at mugshots. Even today, go look at mugshots of killers, and they all have that same crazy, demonic possessed look in their eye, and you can see it. So those are the times we're living in, and it's getting harder for Christians, because I don't know if y'all heard, but in Canada, there's this guy I listen to on YouTube who's, I think, African, but he lives in Canada. And he was saying how they just passed a law to ban the Bible in Canada because they're considering it to be hate speech. And it's not going to be long before they try to do that now. They're already trying to do that now here. That's why they're coming against Christians and stuff, saying it's hate speech to say, that same-sex people can't be together or shouldn't be together. And if you pro-life, that's a problem. And, it's definitely in the times of people calling good evil and evil good, and right, wrong, wrong, right. Like, and if you are not prayed up, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna be falling in line with everybody else, line up to get the mark and all the other stuff, right? And y'all saw they tried to pull another pandemic with the whole virus. I can't even remember the name of it, with the rat. Was it Hunter? I think it was Hunter virus, if I'm not mistaken. And I think was I on here talking to y'all when I was talking about that? And when I said, if you look at the definition in was it Greek or Hungarian? I can't remember what language it was, but I said if you look it up, it means scam, it means fake, it means lie. But they were trying, to have a 2020 part 2, and it was a man. He was on the cruise ship, and he was fake crying and reading off a script, and all this stuff talking about, the virus is on the ship, and this person done died, and that person done died, and they won't let us off the ship, and they got us quarantined on the ship, and all this stuff. But have you noticed that because people were not really responding to? Now, you have some crazy still out here. We're talking about putting the mask on and all this stuff. The mask don't work, but anyway, still walking around putting on masks and talking about if they come out with a vaccine for it, they gonna get the vaccine, and all this stuff. But I guess because it didn't get traction, like people were just like, yeah, okay, like try 2020 on this again and see what happens, because y'all not about to lock us down again. And I think some countries were actually starting to go into another lockdown and stuff like that. And that's another thing. That's another reason why they want to get rid of your, and I got to be careful with the words I say because I don't want my video down, but why they want the laws passed to take them away from people, because we are the only country that still have those rights. And as long as we have those rights, then the government really can't do anything, because we can protect ourselves, right? Whereas in other countries, they took all that away So the government can say and do whatever they want because they can't defend themselves because they don't have the power anymore. So that's another reason why I'm like, no, we're not giving, don't you dare give, if you got one or several, don't you give them up. That's all I'm going to say. Do not give them up. Like, you got to be smart. You got to be wise. Yes, you covered by the blood of Jesus, but Jesus didn't make you to be no fool either. So that's why he told Peter and them, you need your sword. You need 2 of them. When Peter was like, is that enough? And she said, yeah, that's good. That's in Luke somewhere. I'll find that and I'll put it in the description box. But come on, like, God is a God of war. Like, I don't know where we got this hippie loving, God from. While he is love and all that too, he is a God of war. Okay, David, he was a warrior. Saul was out there fighting. Peter was fighting. Joshua, Gideon, all of them were fighting. Like, you have to also physically fight. Yeah, you can war in the spirit all day long, but you also got to be prepared to fight in the physical as well. To defend yourself and defend your family and defend, whatever it is that you have. You think the criminals care? They got their stuff, and then you are turning all your stuff in, and now you can't defend yourself against the people you need to defend yourself against. Like, y'all, listen, all this gummy bear preaching and stuff, the church is weak and the church is dumbed down nowadays because you have weak pastors and wolves and sheep clothing and hirelings in the pulpit and on YouTube telling folks, oh, God is just love, and we don't have to fight our battles because God is going to fight our, yes, God will fight your battles, but at the same time he equips you to also fight your battles. Yes, God is love, but he also is a God of order and a God of war, and is a God who don't take no mess. So anyway, I'm at my spot. I gotta finish this protein shake so I can get out and start walking because it's about to be 10:30, and I was supposed to be out here earlier, but I was in slow motion today, and I got out here later than expected. But the sun still, it's out a little bit, but it's not like out, and I'm in the South, so y'all already know we got a different type of hot. So anyway, y'all, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I was kind of rambling all over the place, but anyway, I'm back. Thank you for watching. If you are new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the good things. And I will put all my stuff in the description box below. What was it? The video of the pastor, the scripture that I said about the swords, and of course my social media, podcast, books, all this stuff. Okay. So anyway, God bless. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.